seeing him as a player on this team that, I mean, like, I say this in the nicest way possible. I don't look at and say he's going to be their best, right? Although, statistically speaking, you might look at him in many instances and say, well, obviously this guy is going to be able to take over games here and there. I think just in terms of who I'm watching visibly, you know, eye test, I don't look at Lovicus and I'm like, wait, this guy's him. You know what I mean? But when you go on a map like Mirage, Lovicus is the one. He's the truth.
I think I've seen some good stuff from him, but yeah, I do know what you mean. Funny enough, while we're talking about individuals, I think Stinix on Anubis in particular, I saw him with, it was Webster's, I think, last year. And that was when I saw a lot of his Anubis, and I was like, yeah, this guy's good.
Webster's, man.
Yeah.
That was a team.
That was a team. It existed. Fortunately, Southsalt, no longer does he exist in this round.
Goodbye.
Ooh, hello. Free peek, free shot, and free opener. And it's a little bit more, too, for Copenhagen Wolves as they pop their way onto the B site. Levantino with a pretty fast flank. He can play spoiler to this round pretty quickly.
Good. He's already gotten that one towards the backside of B main, which opens up an avenue to where the CTs can walk in, and the Ts need to be worried about his positioning and then react accordingly. You know, the maneuvering around the bomb site in order to not be exposed, something that honestly we lacked a little bit from the sides of the teams seen in the last best of 3. This time around, though, perfectly placed and perfectly done is the walk back in towards the site with the op on the post. B main's cleared out. Levantino might be gone, but still standing are the rest. They need to tap. They need to hit that bomb. They're not going to be able to elicit a peek if they're not going to do so. And honestly, fumbling is no Taneki. Relying on him to do that, Venom's going to die to the bomb, perhaps even.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little... yeah, fumble is the right word. Absolute fumble. Because they got a kit, right? Like, I think it was Nantaneki who ended up picking up that kit that was on the site. They didn't have one initially, and maybe didn't realize they had picked it up. Regardless, got a tap on the bomb. Had the op holding the line, too. So, for me, no reason not to. So, Copenhagen Wolves with... I mean, gotta give credit to them. A really solid post plant. Even losing tape wear on the flank from Levantino. That's a round that the Copenhagen Wolves probably big favored in, but certainly could have been won by Cybershow.
I blame you.
Me specifically?
Mm-hmm. I think you got them nervous.
Yeah, I'll stop praising people.
Although it's not a irrecoverable way back into this map in any stretch, excuse me, I meant to say into this half by any stretch of the time. They're going to be fine with forfeiting another round. They lose this B bomb site. They have the off. Just go for the save at that stage when you're this deep into it with no outside 2 pieces. Okay, or that's an option you can also choose to do.
Yeah, that was no armor on Finneman as well. And Nantaneki sticking around more than I would like. Fortunately, he's got a teammate in Stenix to provide his support. On a great flashbang, too. Problem is, I don't think he gets out of here. Like, he's going to have to kill all 3.
Turn off brain, Vincent. It helps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just don't think about
Brain
the
off.
pain that we're feeling in this moment.
Well, Nantaneki brain off as well, because he doesn't have one until next round. It could be such an out-of-context thing, I've just realized.
Yeah, I mean, that's looking good. That's going in my highlight reel.
Caster trashes on player for no reason.
Mean it. Caster says mean thing. So, being mean compilation of us just like saying
you
things
could probably
about players and teams. Yeah, we actually totally could.
That's a real thing. But see, I just pretend like it's analysis, and then it's not me.
That ain't me.
So it was sort of okay that Cybershock lose that round, and the losing part was fine, but losing everything else was the problem.
Not so fine.
Yeah, now it's 5 default pistols. Great flashbang.
Whoa.
It's not enough. Great spray down, too.
Okay, Fessor. Okay, Fessor.
That's some impressive spray control.
I think so as well. I think it gets really, like, what's the word, nerve-wracking when you're, like, blinded for a little bit, and then just a sheer number of bodies coming at you. It's not like he transitioned, like, one by one as they just appeared on his screen. It was like, oh, man, there are 3 people, and I need to choose.
Yeah.
Sometimes you spray a little bit too early, expecting to have killed the first guy or the second guy or however number in the sequence you get to. That happens way too many a time for me.
There's
How
been
did I not kill them? Oh, okay. That's a very stand-in moment, IMO. Spacing is just non-existent. It's your AWPer setting you up, and by setting you up, I mean throwing in a nade after you've died.
Yeah. Okay, Cynics. Alrighty,
Shut
bud.
up, dude. Come on. What are you doing, man?
Getting a kill.
Silly little
Hey.
guy.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I know.
Now you've hurt my feelings. You're getting smashed in practice last night, and I got mine. Levantino got his. Where's yours, buddy? At Why Not FPS?
Tapeware, he's going to be able to punch in C4 for money enough for rounds to come, but beyond that, Cybershock once again finding grounds in Anubis and catching a round back in a pretty serious, convincing fashion in which he retrieved that AWP. Stinix getting that much. Everybody else keeping a little bit of utility on their belts to boot, and only losing a single body means reinvestment is near none. They get themselves at 3-3 on a map like Anubis. Vincent, that's a great start. They got to be pretty happy with it as they go down the rest of this.
Yeah, it's kind of a macro point that I think I'm feeling is more and more accurate on Anubis, but rounds on the CT side where you have 4 or more players alive are so valuable. Because you constantly are finding your own economy, and a 4 or 5 player alive round means that you just have a free buy. Like a free extra buy. And those can, those on this map especially are just, they're so valuable. See? What? And then Fenneman's holding the line too as Era tries to make up for the lost ground. He creates even further ground now empty in mid where Copenhagen Wolves once stood.
Where elevates. Nothing you see over top of this drone just yet, though. Maybe a catch-off card on a fade away, but it's this walk in through mid that might do them their best work in whatever they have to grasp at straws in mid. That would be nice to have. Fenneman says no.
I like this passive approach that Fenneman is taking. Like, you already got the 2-man advantage. There's no need to fight anything else there.
You ever hear 5 bars, 5 seconds?
I haven't. Enlighten me.
Cinnamon, Fenneman, all for Cinnamon, Fenneman, all Venom, and Hawk Venom is Cinnamon, all Fenneman, Cinnamon, it's all Cinnamon.
Alright, Eminem.
Give him an enema. Show him enema, melanin, no melanin. All middlemen, all metal men, all men are friends.
Ooh.
That's Casey Frey. You know who Casey Frey is? He's a
Nope. Not a clue, but I was impressed.
Yeah. He's about to plant this bomb, though. Okay, wait a minute. There's money. That's a win for me in my book from a 5 versus 3, where it quickly turned into a 5v2 with the player being made known.
I'd agree.
I mean, from what it was, you know.
I mean, yeah, 5v3 starting out, like, into the 5v2, you're like, yeah, this is over. We were rapping.
Yeah, we were rapping.
It's all over it should have been, but it doesn't even feel like that was initially set up to be a bait setup for Cybershock, but it worked out so brilliantly. And then Stinix here. Well, I mean, there was probably the idea behind it, but yeah, like from the start, it was like Levantino just taking a fight, and then Finneman got posted, and it was super effective.
This is mid-control that worked out previously for Cybershock. Being able to hold on to it loosely, deep in positioning. This time around, they're going to be playing entirely off of it in order to bolster up the remaining positions of the map. Left gapped, 3 on B, 2 on A, and they realize what they don't have, and with that, they lay claim to E-Box, and with good damage on Defessor to begin with, utility already sent well enough off. Benefits AWP might have a field day. If he's trying to get to this one, though, it'll be Era waiting on the other side with the weapon, and he just couldn't offer face.
1-for-1 trade, not going to be a bad scenario for Copenhagen Wolves. They're okay with that most of the time. Levantino re-clearing mid is Salsol's death, unfortunately, and so 4v4, that's sort of fine. 4-on-3, not so much. Full swing, surely. Oh, that's timing for you. Era worried about both angles. Both players were there or had a good idea of what was going down, yet still couldn't choose at the right time. Stenix. That was the little itch in the back of your head, like, wait, there's a gap there. It's Tapeware 1v4 from a 4v4.
Where walking it back and around. He's going to sit this one down, and where he's not going to be able to get a bomb plant, similar to how Fesser had in a few moments at the end stages of the previous. The money unavailable to him. The buy. Same for the rest. And now Copenhagen Wolves with decisions. This is Cybershock's pick, and it's looking to be. I love when it sounds so simple and so silly. I love when map picks look like map picks.
Yeah, when it's a home map.
Yeah, I like to see that they chose this map and they look like they came into it for a reason. I mean, there's a difference between looking comfortable or looking good and just losing, right? From just not looking like it's your map pick, looking like you're shaking on your choice, on your home turf, right? But Cybershock, by all stretches of the imagination on this map, and you and I have seen it time and time again, Anubis Fanatics.
Another good Anubis team, Fnatic.
Oh, yeah. Gotta be good at something.
I'd say they didn't deserve that, but they kind of do.
I love Fnatic. I'm such a big Fnatic fan.
I also enjoy Fnatic a lot, but listen.
Can't win them all.
Yeah. Particularly against M80, which I was happy about.
Lake is the truth, and you're mad. This is Lovakis walking through B main, though. After losing Stinix against only this one AK-47 that's floated about and around the map and been able to find two, the captain, leading them down to victory in this B site's looking clean and clear for the taking. I don't even think that Cybershock know what the buy is.
No, I mean, they've only seen the AK. Further upgrades now available. That's a big dunk on Era.
My God.
Levantino goes down, Shane. He's also got an upgrade.
Dude, as soon as I call them for being a good Anubis team, it looked really nice, and they look like they're playing it really well. They just get run over by one AK.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, like, Stinix kind of gets isolated. That's, like, the first problem. In Cybershock, do the classic. You know, I like to talk about it a lot, Tony, where you send good money after bad. You're just chasing what was started as a disadvantage, and you're just chasing to try and equalize that one player at a time.
Desperation.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be desperation, but it ends up being. Yikes.
Okay, man.
Big round from Shane. And I think, that's where we've done a little bit of glazing. Why don't we do a little more? This is where I really enjoy the previous iteration of Copenhagen Wolves. I appreciated that, like, I think Tapeware, as a caller, kind of provides a pretty good basis for the team. And then Fester and Shane, just like as two individuals, I think have been increasingly fun to watch.
I like those two. I think if Era isn't permanent moving forwards, that's fine. But like Era, Fester, and Shane, I think is a good foundation. And if Tapeware really is as good as he seems to be, and you make out to be, then I'm fine with them cooking with that. Sasol,
Yeah.
I'm not head over heels about, but I wouldn't be mad to see him stick around as well. I think this composition is fine. I think for CCT, as far as quote-unquote stand-ins go, that's pretty
good.
solid.
Really good.
Okay, and really good thus far as this round been from the Copenhagen Wolves, and entry points both at the front side of the E-box. And okay, at top side mid, in which Notaneki just slaps right down and about. It's still low as Shane. He's going to be a liability in this round now that we're going equal.
Yeah, red HP. And Notaneki is super cognizant of this
Oh
fact.
my god!
Yeah, that's crazy. Notaneki, first 2 kills, by the way, dry swinging after his teammate loses his life at double door, comes back in on the timing, and then clears out the A player as well for the Wolves. How do you get back in here? They're gonna have to do some incredible posting with this AWP, and Fester. Molly. Oh, he gets another one. Ace.
Oh my
what
God.
the hell from Notaneki? This guy's on fire, literally.
Stands amongst the flames and fights on through. Nobody can topple him. The mobility on this guy and the unwillingness to bear ground. He knew he was going to die in that fire, no matter the case, Vincent. And you know what? He takes it on the chin. What a round, and what a time for Notaneki, who's been a non-factor in this game so far, no offense. Like, I mean, it just straight up, that is like him now already at the top of the board based off one round next to both Stinix and Fenomen, or excuse me, and Levantino.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not the norm. To see him as a non-factor, but... Oh, just about caught. Tapeware has been actually great on these early duels. All day long. And almost gets another one. Levantino with some nice movement to help bail him out, but I think would have been run down if Shane didn't have the bomb.
He just realized he had the bomb too. He was about to go into heaven. That would have been a blunder of royal proportions. We go into this one now and find that I think Copenhagen Wolves have just sent Cybershock on to a save for the last round of the half, and I don't blame them. I think 6 rounds beautiful already as is.
Yeah.
Going into anything more, I think just like almost guaranteeing that your final round of the half is going to be everything you need and then some. If you can find that 7th, chef's kiss.
More and more on Anubis. I just feel like 5 rounds or more is just dream scenario. Particularly with how back and forth this was so often. When it's back and forth, the CT side just gets off worse for wear every time. And Cybershock have managed to avoid that pretty well. This is still going to be an MP9 for Notaneki, despite the 4 weapons saved. Nobody had quite the cash to drop him an M4, I guess.
Notaneki, after getting an ace, is like, dang it.
Tapeware just staking claim to multiple areas of the map in the early round.
Speed. Finding errors off. Impactful once more. Not in this map thus far, honest and truthfully, but in general, needing him to really just be that guy to get you that X factor potential when things aren't all going too well for your riflers. It's Era, who usually with a rifle is just as proficient, but now the sniper in his hand at the very final dying embers of this T-end, finding a double, has done his job.
Yeah, it's forced Notaneki back, so there's no resistance placed onto the A site proper. Lucas, at the very least, gonna pull back one, but Yeah. How do you get back in here? It's just gonna have to be Nontaneki making a play. Finneman needs to like slide in off the back of that contact rather, but so little time even. Guys, we gotta go.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's done. It's already about 15 seconds left onto this clock before they've gotten out through the heavy slit. Arrow with 4, looking to get his ace. It's the end of the half. Run him down, dude. Get up in there. He'll wait his time. Play his game.
Playing for KD. Gotta pump those numbers up, you know?
I do.
But as much as that's out with a whimper, I think on the end of the half for Cybershock, it's still a great half. They start themselves off on the right foot on their map pick as well. It was tight on Anubis last time. It was 13-10. But I'm going to be honest. I really feel like, despite the tied scoreline, Copenhagen Wolves really need this pistol. That's my feeling. That's fully feeling based though, not about the reality.
The reality of things is that the Wolves still biting back. Still managing to float this map, and
Still fighting.
By the skin of his teeth, to be able to get away there.
Well, this is bad. Now the spacing is pretty awful. Shane given a couple shots available. They need to regroup, play together. They will, but Shane, good for his. A reload through for Nontaneki. Another clutch required. He'll get the numbers punched in, but it will be his undoing as Death finds him quickly.
I think the plant was worth the while there, though. I think the clutch was almost, I don't want to say impossible, but...
Bro, did you see what Nontaneki did?
A lot more important? Yeah, I did.
Bro doesn't know the meaning of the word impossible.
Right. Vincent, that's 5 of his 8 kills.
Yeah, and I'm here for it.
Okay.
If you win me one round on a 6-6 half there, on the CT side of Anubis, you can have 8 kills all day.
I win you a very great number of rounds, and I still get trashed. What's
yeah,
up?
And then you tilt off the face of the planet, though.
Right. You wanna know why, Vincent? Because I get those kills, and you don't give me a nice job, Tony. Good round, Tony. Good kills, Tony.
That's not true.
Then you throw flashes in my face and block me when I get burnt in long doors of Dust 2.
That does happen.
That specific thing happens way too much, and it's not just you, but it just happens too much. It's always, go, move, let me out, let me out. that entire phrase.
Yeah, that does happen a lot. But I build you up.
You do,
That's
you
lies.
do.
I'm a supportive teammate.
I did lie. I don't often do that, so.
Yeah, check smack the lies counter that Tony has had this whole map or this whole day, like at 5.
I have a really weird thing to tell you. Not weird, but like my you know how my brain works sometimes. I just fall into a rabbit hole. And get
yeah, it's crazy.
I'll tell you in a minute. We got a 7-6. We got a Copenhagen Wolves lead, and we got a Cybershock 5 back. That bomb plant offering them that much. I don't think this is live. I'm gonna take my time to talk about it. Okay, so Sasol, right?
Yeah.
Played with Sangal most recently prior to this team that he's standing in for now. Along with a player called Ganginho, a Ukrainian AWPer, before they had gotten their latest, right?
Yeah.
And I was just looking at like the history of that team where I was like, oh my god, Ganginho played for them. I wonder where he's at. He is currently right now actively at this very second playing on HLTV against Passion UA. I just thought that was really weird.
Oh, really? For who?
TNL. Not a no-name team, unfortunately, but
okay. I was like,
but even still, he joined in May, and I didn't know he was still active. And as far as HLTV maps goes, I have not seen bro in forever. So I just thought it was funny that the day that I looked into it.
You thought about him, and he delivered. It's true. I don't know if the kids call it that though.
You are
There's
old as hell.
There's too many letters in that for the kids to know that word. It's forced by a lot of pressure on these rifles. Levikas and Levantino. The first two, they're just gonna contact out here onto P. Yeah. Tapeware, he's not like popping off the scoreboard, dude, but
very good.
yeah, his impact is so high.
Levikas just opened everything up for taking now to where if Sassol goes down without a kill, that's a save instigated, but they're not even going to go in. They take down 2 bodies in the B site and they don't push their way through. They pump the brakes. And they look to shift gears as they've not yet made their final decision. It looks like the group towards mid might be where they end up, and I like that because it's probably the most splintered piece of the map at this stage.
Well, it should be, but it's not. It's 2 players here. Though timing is not on Copenhagen Wolves' side in this scenario.
They're expecting an execute.
Yeah, I mean, and they should. This is all very reasonable things for Copenhagen Wolves to be doing there. They almost had the perfect timing, the perfect hold, and now that save might get activated. Some of this is confirmed damage, but others is not. Wait, hold on. Okay, I thought Shane was about to slip in there without Finneman seeing.
Could've.
Even with that kill, this is probably still save territory for Copenhagen Wolves. They don't have a kit.
Shot in the back of the head. SMG is going to get that money made. Farmed back up. Upgrade, I believe, was available a moment or two ago. Hidden between the rocks at the floor at the deep side of mid. Retrieved eventually, and they get exactly what they were looking for. They get that W. The response, thanks to that bomb plant that I spoke about being pretty influential from Notaneki that allowed them to get into the spot. Back and finds all the more success.
What is that M4 that Salsol just had?
I didn't see.
Hold on, I'm going to do some searching. One of my favorite game pastimes is.
What color was it?
What's that? It was like blue and like a light blue aqua and black. Sick.
Light blue. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
It might have been. It didn't look like a nightmare, but it might have been like a interesting pattern nightmare.
I used to have a nightmare. I like that gun.
I lied. It's an Icarus cell.
Icarus fell. That was my other guess. I only knew two blue M4s actually. It was just the,
What? There's so many blue M4s.
the Guardian and that one. And the blue Phosphorus.
Masterpiece, Brightwater.
Shut up.
Want more? I got more.
Nope, all good.
Era's got more to offer on an MP9.
Are you serious?
What? Bro, got away.
Just run around the corner spamming. Just jump even.
He had an AK. Give him a break.
It doesn't even matter.
All right. It doesn't matter for this round, that's for sure.
Absolutely suplexed.
Like that.
There it is. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Absolutely suplexed in this round. Copenhagen Wolves back with a response and one in kind to where, you know, Cybershokes was hard fought, dude. This one was not.
I mean, bro got away with so much in mid there for...
Mortar.
I'm gonna say no reason, like... You know, it's one of those... You get to take the credit era, but also Cybershock did some sillies. Decimator, Guardian. Hyper Beast.
That's one of your famous nicknames, Hyper Beast.
Oh, that's Levikas right now. For aggressive and a beast. There's Copenhagen Wolves in this one. They run into the buzzsaw that's named Levikas for some reason or another. Do you name your buzzsaws?
What? I don't know no buzzsaw.
Alright, not a real man.
Okay.
It's a joke. That's a joke. Shade's just gonna walk away from this. It wasn't that funny, chill. Oh, Shade is so locked in. I love that, though. That move from Shade is so intelligent. Like, have you ever fought anybody in that corner, ever?
Yeah.
Like...
I died to him.
Oh, yeah, so yes, but you lose it.
Yeah.
Which I also do.
That's 8-8. That's guns into the hands of these last two, just stuck at the deep side of B main, trying to hold on to what they got. Fighting the good fight and not so much living the good life.
I think maybe we haven't given enough respect to what has actually been a wild beginning to the second half. You know, a little bit of silliness from us, but like these force buys from Cybershock haven't actually been that good, as in it hasn't been like a deeply thought out strategy or you know, a really strong purchase. It's been one or two heavy rifles and everybody else on very limited pieces of equipment and utility. And it's been those heavy rifles that have made the difference. Levikas in that round showing it off. And that's what we started off talking about this series with, that Cybershock, they have the it factor in so many of these rounds that is a viable strategy for them. And that's not true for most teams. Quads into a hopefully something different, to be honest, for Copenhagen Wolves. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
And in this, where they have both teams kind of askew in terms of their purpose, it's not
Really?
typical.
I feel like this might be the best buy that Wolves have had.
It doesn't make it great.
That's true.
The utility is already nothing, Vincent.
You are smart. I didn't notice that.
They get their guns, sure. They get a kit. Or put down on that MP9, which is proficient with, but retake potential, unironically, down to Cooper. The retake, though, if they get their kills. I say poop and you laugh. What are 10?
No, I laugh at what you almost said. Main gets his one, but Stenix and the Stenix show continues. Doubled up. Removed from the flank. It's Fester. He doesn't even... I mean, it felt like he gave that like a... Yeah, I'll give it a try type of...
Yeah.
Like, that was the attitude. Like, I'll go in.
I'm already on the way.
Yeah. You know, I got one. Thought he had a lot more space there in A main, and he just didn't.
10, 11, 10, 10, 12. Kill distribution right now from the side of Cybershock. But in all credit and all due fairness, 8, 10, 8, 13, 13. This is a game in which everyone is playing. There's nobody really quiet. There's nobody sitting and taking a back seat while the rest cook. And there's also nobody standing above the rest on the shoulders of giants. No, not quite. Everybody tall enough to where we're all a threat. All but Copenhagen Wolves in this round. Cybershock's double digits near a shoe-in.
This has been a hard-fought battle for the economic game. All right. Yikes. Dude, the utter trust there that he had in Cynics.
Oh my god. And he delivered, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Two of them down.
I'm telling you, Stenix, I again feel like on Anubis, I feel like I've seen some of the best of his work, personally. That win here, you know, not the eco, but the win in breaking Copenhagen Wolves' economy, that could start off the snowball in the wrong direction for the CTs, where they're just constantly playing that back and forth. It needs to be a gun round victory here, I think. Even though the scoreline doesn't necessitate it, I think the game is going to fall away from Copenhagen Wolves if they don't find it.
You are entirely right. Man disadvantaged by 1. Time more than up enough where he's can take this one as a cakewalk, a stroll in the park to be able to get their 1 foot in the door into either the A or B bomb sites. Mid also obviously an option, but Sassol, the one playing gatekeep between 2 points of distance. He, is it the epicenter? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, I guess.
There's a word for that. I'm going to look it up.
That sounded somewhat right, but you're the smart one.
Nope, that wasn't it.
Levikas. No? Okay. In the meantime, while you figure it out, Levikas, man, is the Terminator over on B. Like, double entry that way. Re-clear for Copenhagen Wolves. I mean, they have to make a play. This being the one might catch them off guard. That's not the bomb, though, that gets dropped. Fortunately enough for Cybershock. Nataneki wants to take a fight. Take a fight he won't. But victorious anyway. Shane goes down. It's got a long run for Salsol. He's heard, spotted, removed. And the round done and dusted. Levikas on 4.
Also, it's the midpoint. Simply enough.
Oh. You got fancy? We didn't need fancy, apparently.
Okay, well, we didn't need fancy, apparently. I like that.
Huh?
You got fancy? Apparently we didn't need it. To focus, as many would say, and needing to focus now more than ever, are the CTs as they find a precarious situation. Not on their map pick, though. I will say I will give them the props, Vincent. I will give them the props. This is actually probably farther than I was anticipating them to make it on Anubis.
Well, I mean, like I said, last time it was 13-10. This is not a bad Copenhagen Wolves map by any means, but
2 stand-ins?
Yeah, the 2 exactly. That's where I was going. The 2 stand-ins part, that's where you start to feel like it could have gone really badly, and it hasn't.
They stay afloat.
Yeah. And ultimately, this isn't a guaranteed loss, though. It's looking like it at this point. Cynic's dinked up. In a rare situation where Levikas overwhelmed on B. They can put so much faith on him to be solo in that direction and almost never go down without getting 1 or 2. This time, it's none. A site is not activated. A TK for Nataneki. Uh-oh. 2-on-2. Bomb now recovered, but lurked out in a position that I don't think they'll anticipate. Tapeware is. Good hold. Tapeware still unknown. Still unseen. Nataneki inside the smoke. The HP so low, though, for Tapeware that it doesn't matter.
Good old 1-2. Waiting inside of the smoke for his teammates to either get the contact for it to fade or for the CT to make himself known. And I guess kind of 3 of those things happening all at the same time. Simultaneously, Nataneki gets what he asked for, and Cybershock asking for the map win have certainly gotten my attention about it, and Tapeware has caught my attention just the same by buying an AWP, doubling up with he and Era, seeing if the investment in the change-up in the composition is enough. And through, Era's gone, Lamborghini is already dispatched of, now Tapeware is going to have to step up to the plate as that guy, but Fesser will do it beforehand.
A little bit more passive for Levikas in this round. Yeah. I mean, that's one that Tapeware needed to win. Really was a requirement. Levantino gets his, and this is game over, or at least it should be. Fesser is going to get another, but it's too little too late. Grabbed an op. Shane, he's the only one who has anything to say right now. Locked in, but 2 players swinging at him. Fesser now up strong. Coming back into a smoke in his face. I don't think this is the gun for the job. Wait, they didn't drop a smoke. Pardon me, it was a Molotov.
Idiot.
So maybe it is the gun for the job.
Veneman, he's got the same weapon. His, though, a little bit better off considering he can post up on an angle. Fesser, with not that same luxury, is going to walk it in, and around and about he will go. He won't be spotted initially, but on the second jiggle, it'll be made known.
He didn't even know, is what I was getting at. No idea at Fesser that he had been seen. And Cybershock, I mean, ultimately a win that we sort of expected to come down. It came down to it. The two points that I mentioned, right? The fight for the economic prowess, that back and forth at the beginning of the half, and then that first gun round after the econ got broken. Those are the two things, right? Copenhagen Wolves didn't get anything out of those last 4 rounds. Nothing at all. And
Yeah.
despite some close affairs, it still ended up a loss. And, as I love to say, it's the number at the top of the board that matters most.
Anubis just deflated at the end. It felt like there was a lot of the T-side positions in which they were slipping into. Lovicus in particular allowed to just hold the line, as you mentioned, given a lot of faith by the team. They were making their rounds around each other point of the map, and when he goes down to a 5-7 or whatever the case was at the point where they were getting ecoed almost, like, that's fine, to be completely frank. The rest of his team was more so ready enough to take up space over towards A main and elsewhere, and I think that's going to be their biggest strength in that map at the end, was their ability to just make the best out of a not-so-great situation here and there.
Yeah, little bit of maybe some confidence. I know it's weird to say confidence in a loss, but I think, like you're saying, ended up handling things relatively well considering the situation. Mirage is the real test, though, and I don't think it gets easier necessarily from here. It is where Copenhagen Wolves have elected to take us, and we will take our time as we take about 10 minutes to get into this Mirage map. Back in just a jiffy with map number 2.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events. At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Map 1 was about as planned, I think, for Cybershock. Like they come away victorious and they look good doing it. A good fight though for the Copenhagen Wolves put up, and it leads them into Mirage, which is their own map pick. What's the keys to success, do you think, Tony, for Copenhagen Wolves on this map?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Being able to overstep the boundaries of being a 5-player team who are all playing well and have somebody get into that zone where they can lock down wins consistently across the board is Mirage's key, I think, in general. And I think that that's going to be all the more important here, seeing as it was 5 players kind of battering them in many of these rounds from Cybershock. It felt like it was everybody who was having their instances of brilliance, and I think you go into a map like Mirage, and if that is the case, then somebody needs to be a hero for the Copenhagen Wolves.
Yeah, a hero that I think it's hard to kind of find who that would be, you know? Like Fess or Shane are the obvious guys to fulfill that role, but it feels like as we jump into Mirage that might just be a little bit beyond them. Like I have a lot of faith in those players, and especially like in their development as well. But like I was saying at some point on Anubis that for me, the excitement that I had about Copenhagen Wolves previously was that I thought they were a good unit, a good team that ended up getting the most out of their pieces in a lot of situations.
Well,
Feels like that's a lot more difficult given this current situation they find themselves in.
Yeah. Maybe give them like a week more time, and it might be a different story. But again, we don't. We assume it's an actual real stand-in situation, not a trial or anything.
I mean,
of that nature, so.
that is what they tweeted, is that they're standing.
Yeah, say that.
It's true.
It's nice though to see that this connector pop has actually gotten them into the site enough where they're not being shredded one after another. They've been shot, sure. Losing bodies, even still arrow ready for not only the one, but the second to boot is pretty impressive in its own regard, and now needing Lovicus to get back into this one, but stuck in his own right in the deep side of the window. They need to get down and in.
I think Lovicus isn't getting any fights, isn't getting anybody giving him a duel, and that drop is going to give away the game. Triple swing about to be set up, and it's ugly, but they'll get it done.
Arrow wanted that knife kill so bad, and Tape where it took it at the last second, dude.
Yeah, but also, that was a 1v3 that was realistically potentially lost if we don't, we troll.
We had no ammo left, but...
I know. But I'm not tracking his bullets, man. I'm trying to win the round. We're down a map. What's the difference between you and I?
Yeah, that I'm never down a map.
No, we are down a map. It already happened. How when you collat your teammate for headshot.
One time.
That's funny.
One tape. Where?
You're a funny guy. Anybody ever told you that?
Everybody's always told me that all my life, every time I've met them.
Oh, that's a problem. Now you've got the ego.
It's just going to be bodies being floored, flattened, and creamed. Is this a bomb site going to be? Unless the Deagle can get a shot two here and there. Maybe a gun later to retrieve if they can get up close and personal with it. But Levin's got an actually beautiful position with the bomb planters there as well, but he can't get him. It's Tapeware over top. Thankfully, because that could have spiraled out of control real quick.
Yeah, it really could have. And honestly, it wasn't out of that potential either with the Deagle still in CT. Naltaneki grabs it from the floor, but doesn't get anything done with it. So the Wolves will stay strong. And here's the other thing. I really talked up what I think is a good T side for the Copenhagen Wolves. I think even when it doesn't work out, Tapeware is very comfy on this map. So it seems like a negative to start on the T side, but I actually think this works out in their favor.
Tapeware to run a pretty tight ship per Vincent, and hoping that that will remain the case for the remainder of this game. If they want their opportunity back into it. Flashing over high. No Taneki ready. Gun in hand. Fenneman losing his life, but no Taneki standing tall enough to be able to deny them on the last player here. Needing an assistance. It's over the top side of the stairwell, actually. The Tapeware with the bomb gets up in the face of them. Oh my god.
And Leventino not going to expect the second guy here. Like, you expect the one mid lurk, but like the second mid lurk? That's a little too much to ask for. A lot of skin talk.
Spraying the ground before he died.
I was gonna say, we've had a lot of skin talk today. If that interests you. Okay, so we're doing a giveaway. About $400 worth of skins. You can click the banner down below to learn how to get involved or go to cct.gg/hellcase. Cybershock have gotten pretty much everything they can afford this round.
So too would have been that AWP shot. Not to find the MP9 up close and personal. Gets his, and Stinix on a swivel whips his head around like an owl. 180-degree maneuver. It's honestly a little bit of, I don't know. I don't want to use the word desperation again, but yeah, desperation and trying to get somewhere, some way, somehow a kill. And when they get up close and personal, the Deagles getting exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, but Tapeware finding his. Unfortunately, his is not enough. It's a couple of kills to help bring this back, but Era 1v2 op in hand. It's the weapon of choice for sure. Levikis on a, I'm going to say a very interesting position that if he ends up coming back here, it might be perfect timing.
Tosses out the AWP.
All right, he knows.
It's over. He didn't even want to give that clutch a look in, really. It feels like that's what he's doing. Interesting decision, I will say. It wasn't unwinnable. Time was on his side. Be able to retrieve that C4 if he wanted it. So relaxed in these shots. See how slow and controlled they get in their crosshair placement. And around where they have got just Eagles, they need to be laser focused. And they sure too were there. Fenneman in mid with the gift of being able to now lock down that angle with nobody having yet crossed. It's a pair of players in which Tapeware will die and Sassel feels the residual through collateral damage. And an opening in which Cybershock are going to be very happy with.
Yeah, pumped up, that's for sure. Leaves Copenhagen Wolves really wondering what they should be able to do, what they can even do. It's also tied low, as you mentioned, but at least now everybody's got a gun. Heading back over for the A-pop. And right back into Finneman's waiting arms, it seems. There's one full kit of utility, 2 flashes total. Neither of them going to blind up Finneman first and foremost. Team flash. Yikes. They're so blind, they can't see. Not the neck, you got them all.
Sight's overrated. Who needs vision?
Who's overrating sight?
People who can see.
All right. I think I rate it as highly as it is in reality.
You ever heard Daredevil, dude? That guy can
Yeah.
do some serious stuff. Can you do that?
I can't. And I'm like, I don't know, at least 50% as blind. So,
50% as blind?
yeah.
He's fully blind.
Well, what percentage
Daredevil
would you
can see 0.
Yeah, what percentage of blind would you say you are?
To Daredevil?
No, in general. So he's at 100%
Say like
cuz fully blind.
without my glasses?
Yeah.
Probably like 60.
Vanilla.
Probably like 60%.
60% blind. So why is my 50% crazy?
You're saying 50% of Daredevil.
No.
You can't see anything, so it's like basically you don't have an eye.
I'm 50% blind.
This is 100% cyber show. No one dies. We're all staying alive, staying alive.
I'm confused, Tony.
Why?
That's the hard cut to eco round. That's the Tony's confused.
What are you talking about? Pass it on.
All right, sure.
That's what you're paid for, isn't it?
Supposedly, allegedly. 5 AKs is the push up into underpass. That's well handled. Taper gets one. Instant trade for Salsol as well, who's had a lot better opening to this map, I will add. I think struggled in the early stages of Anubis, kind of regained footing towards the end, but certainly a more impressive early game. Not to Neki, especially.
These sites clear and free for the taking. No one from Cyber Show going to stop them in their incursion, as I don't even know how likely it is for them to go for a retake if they don't get a pick in quick.
There's a fast flank coming, so maybe there's that to fall back on. But yeah, noticing how far Nataneki is away. Speaking of picks, there might be one here. Close. I mean, they do have 2 kits. They have one kit. They have no kits. It's a swift adjustment. Or maybe there's a chance to, yeah, they lost.
You ever think Oscar's going to get an opportunity outside of his home country now?
After what he did in the RMR qualifier? I mean, there's a good, yeah, there's a good, though I don't know, does he want to, does he want to, like, speak English, like, go to an international team?
He's probably pretty well off right now. I assume he'd have to be pretty decently taken care of.
I think so. I mean, centers tend to, from everything I know about that organization, I think they tend to take care of their people.
I'm only saying that because CCT Series 11 is in its grand final stage right now, if you wanted to check that one out, too.
Very true.
Sinners and Gamer Legion.
Center's currently having a, like, crazy run of form. The right time, too.
The right time for Levantino to be elevated on the van side, looking for even more than that and burning as a result, but he's okay with that much if he doubles down.
Yeah, 2 kills out of that situation is perfect. The Wolves can't believe that they've burned him out and he's still sticking around. Spotted and removed his tapeware from the game, and now Professor all alone. It's not the double double mid lurk. It's the one guy, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Fester might not be him in this case. That is a strong start. Not perfect, but strong.
Besser in the Nether Realm in just a few moments if he decides to continue his scale. Doubtful, though. I mean, he's gone all the way back up towards the top side of mid with 18 seconds. I think this AK-47 is where he'd like to stick with for the remainder. He doesn't want to give up the game. Give them a couple of extra bucks that they don't have to invest in, Vincent. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
A reason to believe in what I can only assume will be a save round. Otherwise.
There might be a little bit more money, actually.
I'd like to see, yeah.
I think I saw 5K on somebody. That's what I'm
Oh.
remembering.
Actually, a lot more than I thought that they had. Oh my gosh, look at that. They can actually
Yeah.
force up around him pretty comfortably. Really comfortably, even.
Yeah, it was Era, I think, that had like that 5K, because he's on smoke. Oh, no armor, though. Glass cannon.
Who needs it? It's overrated armor for babies. Riflers.
People who get hit. Oh, my goodness.
He got his time. Wasn't able to make the best of it there, though, as he's the one on the receiving end of all that damage. So two of his teammates follow up, and everybody losing their health and losing their lives to ensue. It's the beginning 15 seconds of the round, Vincent, and it's over.
Yeah, that's a
Statement.
And honestly, like, a statement that means what for Cybershock? Because, let's be real, that wasn't even like they dominated the mid-opening duel, like they did something incredible. Like, spam through smoke, bunch of damage done, good utility, that's where the credit is due. But it's Era who gets, you know, tagged up because he's like falling there at the worst time, you know? Because the smoke, like, it's all timing there.
You're a hater, dude.
Oh. I was speaking more from the perspective of Copenhagen Wolves. Like, you look back and you say, you know, I'm Tapeware, right? And I asked my team, what went wrong?
Nice to meet you.
What went wrong there? Like, I don't know how you answer that other than, like, unlucky, you know?
Yeah. Just don't get shot through the smoke, though, I mean.
Yeah, I guess it's that simple.
Even still, Mirage, delivering, I would say, as far as we expected it to for both teams right now. I didn't expect it to be a runaway train from one way or the other. I knew it was a proficiency for the either of them, and you knew that just as much as me. Now we see opportunity to really walk away with a decent enough half on your choice of sides and your opponent's choice of map pick. You're already a map up, so Cybershock moving into the offensive like that pistol round is just going to be where they're free flowing. If they get into a zen state before then and keep momentum good, a very, very uneasy prospect for the side of the Copenhagen Wolves. But Vincent, a question for you.
Go ahead.
What would your pistol round call be if it's your map pick and you're down going into that T side? You're the IGL.
T side. So I'm T side call
You're
here.
the T side, and now you're down. You just went onto your T side now, and you're down at the half, like 7-5.
Here on Mirage. I think
8-4, actually.
yeah, I'm calling a top con smoke flash out A, scale into jungle. Plant for connector. That's my call.
It's a good one. I would
Classic.
call banana upside down pineapple cake molasses, I think. If you don't know that strategy,
Then you didn't read the strat book, clearly.
and you didn't read the strap book.
But I did. So I fully know that one's the one where we
You know
go
your role.
re-up cat.
Yeah,
Right?
you know your role.
Mm-hmm.
2 apps.
Strat book reader.
Dude, they just booked in these underpass players forever. I don't remember the last time I saw an underpass smoke come from top mid for a CT.
Yeah, I mean, it allows for Fenneman to continue to hold this line, and
What?
goodbye. Yikes. And so, as much as this looks like a competitive half, it kind of hasn't been that competitive. Because, I mean, it was 3-0 for Copenhagen Wolves. They win the pistol. Right? Since then, the last 6 rounds have been all Cybershow. Alright, don't hate me. I've not seen the same things from Era that you have, I feel. Okay. I actually haven't seen him almost at all in CS2, to be fair. I saw a lot of that God Sent roster. Yeah, and this has aged so well. Because I was really enjoying watching Joel. Yeah, it was fine. But, like... Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem, I guess, for me. You know, and that's not fair. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not how it should work, but you know, that is kind of how it works. Or just yapping for yapping's sake. Just another round where Copenhagen Wolves just can't get out of the opening 15 seconds. So are you now on board with this isn't really that competitive of a half? Uh-oh. Only you can agree with me and make me feel bad. Like, yeah, you're right. Also feel bad about it. Like, okay, man. Whatever, dude. I'm not crying, you're crying. Another great North American quote. Yeah, it's not been the half out of Shane that we needed. Like, I mean, it sort of feels like I'm picking on him. It's not been the half from anybody that they needed, but him in particular, I think, had a lot to do for a win in that first half, and it wasn't done. There are a big impact on the pistols here. Fortunately, limited to just the 2, which, you know, it's good, but... Yeah. Impressive read for Fenneman. Yeah, it's a situation of a good idea, but perfect position for the counteract. Yeah, I mean, he got the value out of it, too. You know, 2 kills. Did the most. But it's, not a force buy that I'm a big fan of. Just because there's so limited time right now for Copenhagen Wolves on this second half. Things are gonna very quickly fall out of favor. And, you know, if they they don't maximize their chances. This is where CS2 does become lightning quick.
I know that game. So the Eagle has been known to be deadly, I will say. And in this round, we already see the beginnings of that start to spiral out of control for CyberShook, who have not lost one, but two. Their way back up and in, but Lovicus redeeming himself, giving them an opening into the round, as it were, with a stack on the B site. Even still, either side of this pillar, and players are already in awaiting. And oh my, peekaboo.
Dude, he wasn't even on the screen. The amount of, like, uh-oh moments in this round are absurd. And Shane might just redeem himself here and now. Not to Neki. Plenty of time to work with. About the same on the HP bar. And he got wide, and the adjustment made for Not to Neki. CyberShook win against the force buy, tight as it may have been. And I think that at this point, Copenhagen Wolves could convince themselves of further force buying.
I would. I mean, it's a little late in the game here, Vincent, to be worrying so very much about saving your economy. 10-4. It's already problem city.
Well, see,
Denying a bomb plan, at least in terms of timing, it will be evenly matched somewhat.
so that's my issue with the force buy last round, is that it's not that that in and of itself is a bad decision. It's that if this happens, you're just set up for further spiraling decisions. Okay. Case in point, here's the spiral.
And there goes all the money down the drain.
You know what I mean?
He's gone, man. Yeah.
Like, it's not that each individual decision is bad. It just makes it very easy to make further all-in decisions where you're just doubling, tripling, quadrupling down because it's sort of the best play at that right time instead of taking a longer look at it. Which I think from the start would be, hey, let's get a real gun round out. And, it sounds like a lot of criticism. It's really easy to do that, and if they win the round, it's all different. But if you don't, this is what can happen. Era.
Sorry, I thought you had more to go with that. Lovicus, though, just throws his head back and forth. He whips his hair. It's nice hair to whip. But Era, he's been made known previously. As you mentioned, you called him out. It's Lovicus who now has to just triangulate where he's gone.
I was gonna say, that first angle is very nasty. Oh, and Era just turns away at the wrong time. That is literally all about timing. And you hate to see it.
Round loss bonus is back up.
Yeah. You hate to see it because, like, here at Copenhagen Wolves do a lot of good work. And just ends up a timing game. And in a game or a map where everything seems to be going wrong, it does do so again here.
Yeah. A fast one, but a 1v3 for Lovicus there, I believe it was. Cat to Era. Now, time is running near and drawing to a close. Is Mirage in this series as it was. The Wolves sinking, getting a little bit of a life preserver thrown their way, and connector there as they're able to find the pair of players not known to be in existence simultaneously.
I think spotted out on the one, got damage done, and then unaware of the second guy and the alternative angles shown. Tapeware with a massively information-heavy push gets essentially all of the info needed that this is an A play. Honestly, the way that this is set up right now, CyberShook Wouldn't surprise me to try and go back like mid or B. Oh my gosh, no way!
Unlucky, perhaps.
Perhaps.
It's just like one of those moments where you think you've got the right move, you think you're on trajectory. Not quite.
Fortunately, that isn't going to lose Copenhagen Wolves the round. Is information still sufficient to provide victory? Money a little bit awkward. I can only assume this will still be an investment for Cybershook, but they are, I think Levantino in particular, going to be working with less than perfect weapons. But outside of that, solid enough. I will say, Copenhagen Wolves barely taking their tack timeouts this series. They do have a coach. But in the Anubis game, it was kind of all fine until it wasn't.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's sort of been all bad the whole way through. But I don't think like, tactically necessarily has been the problem.
I tend to agree. I find that in these moments, though, where Cybershock are in interesting buys, they don't really seem to be like they're down, if that makes any sense. They don't look like they're playing at a disadvantage when they have a MAC 10 or whatever the case may be. They actually almost kill Sassel on that boost, despite him getting the drop on the player Lovicus. He still snaps up for some damage, but this A side has one player on it. He's out in the middle of nowhere. He can't even get more than the one. I was going to say, if he didn't get that one, it'd be almost over for me, but it's all good. Reined in, Shane does what he has to, and the rest are on the way.
Well, and that's the opener towards A that at least can provide Finneman some forward position. But I say that. He's just watching and waiting for the push through CT. It does eventually come, but a missed shot will certainly open things up back for the Copenhagen Wolves. Another late regroup. Similar story as the last round, but it's even lower HP for Cybershock to work with as they creep up B.
So slow, this creep and crawl, man. They just need to jump out. And as soon as they do, Sassel should have them. 20 HP, though. One bullet on a stray would find him, but they need to be extremely cautious about this hard clear. And when they are, Levantino's given me some hope. Fenneman's up, a serious damage dealer in this moment right now, Vincent. He can just post up wherever he so pleases, and he's bound to find a kill.
Posted on Cat.
No.
But yeah, Tapeware has created issues. That was a must hit. Position, but they're closing in. Two different angles. Here's Era coming. Gonna need him close by. The time is starting to become a factor. And it was a no scope or a quick scope required. Tapeware with the kit. And one on the ground. Should he have been lacking one? Confirm Copenhagen Wolves. What is a solid enough start to a long road back to victory, but very interesting late round. This is battle of low HP there.
Yeah, I think frankly it's at this point, like, that's a pretty expensive round for them to concede even still, though. Cybershock, like, they can't really buy all that much now, obviously, with that AK-47 for Levantino and the rest taking a save otherwise, but the same could be said for the CTs who are also let low. If they lose too many bodies here, that's going to become problematic. Issues will soon begin to arise. If they can buy and buy and buy and buy, it would be fine to be able to say that there's a world where they can climb back into this game with 6 rounds now, that gap. But if they're playing with MP9s in some instances, that's where it's going to get awkward, as they just get shred down more and more by Cybershow, because their loss bonus swells up to the tip and the top and the brim.
That's why this round is actually so important for Copenhagen Wolves' chances at coming back.
Swing it.
Yeah, they have to. I say have to. It's crucial for them to be able to win this handedly, for them not to lose bodies. And that's one way to do so. It's the one rifle then dropped by Fesser, covered by Veneman, and a couple more grabbed by him, but now he's solo.
Sassel's dancing with the devil in that one. Even still, these guys are just giving him straight up duels, knowing he's rather low, I could only assume, knowing that 2 engagements had taken place.
And a dink. They heard the dink.
They heard the dink. Did somebody ring the dinkster? You ever see Spy Kids?
I do. I have seen that, yeah.
They're funny little movies. Funny, terrible little movies.
Yeah, I was about to say. I watched those way too many times as a kid.
They're good, though. They're fun. Sorry. Now, though, I mean, it's Tech 9 for Levantino, but is that really the worst thing in the world? If they can get active with the AK-47s up close and personal, it won't really matter, especially with Levantino's team the first to fall. His body could have run a distraction for them to find even further beyond that, but Sassel gets to be refragged.
Finally, that's going to happen, but it's maybe too late, or not. Finneman gets his. Levique is for 2. But the underpass player and Catwalk Man are gone. HP is low. That Molotov, got to be careful, Professor, because one little tick and you are dead. He moves back over to B, where Nataneki has set up shop. And he's fully bedded in. He's got a PC set up. And he's playing games with them. Round should be over from here. Shane 1v3 with 44 HP.
Through the window he will go, and the gun barrel, I think, could be seen, and it is. It's right there, pal. That's the game. That's the round. That's a headshot. Insult to injury. Salt into the wound at a Cybershock 2-0. What a way to close the day. CCT 12 men. Bangers back to back. We go with this rolling schedule, and frankly, I'm all for it. They make it just in time, I believe, for their next game that's been postponed for the next 4 minutes to start from now, Vincent.
Oh, jeez.
They're doing them a favor, maybe, Cybershock.
I mean, yeah, I guess in that case, there towards the end, would have wanted a different result, to be fair,
Probably.
but tough ones across the board for Copenhagen Wolves, who, you know what, I think, given the fact that they're with two stand-ins played, you know, Mirage looks closer than it really was. That wasn't a close map, but Anubis was. Anubis was a close map that I think that Copenhagen Wolves can be proud of what they put together, their performance on that one. But a Cyberstroke team that has continued to build up, has been making playoffs now very consistently. They were, you know, a team with consistency problems, I think. They figured it out. And I think for me, like, you already knew what you were going to get from most of these players individually, but I think that Levantino, who is still the newest guy here, not new anymore, but from every time I've seen Cybershock play since adding him in, he's gotten better, in my opinion. And that actually, I think, has provided some of that consistency that Cybershock had needed.
Yeah, I tend to think that was a pleasure. I think it was really cool to see both of them in their outings. Copenhagen Wolves with some growing pains, seeing as they're still sorting out their roster with good time. They should be back to at least a form in where this maybe looks like a much different affair if we just see a little bit more time in prep and maybe a little bit more understanding of what their composition is going to look like moving forward. So honestly, they'll get their flowers in at least that regard. I will give them the benefit of the doubt every day of the week. They made Anubis competitive. They made Mirage look like there was a little bit of a discussion to be had towards the end. Better late than never. But even still, a win is a win. You said it earlier on the previous. I don't remember if it was in the last map or the last series, but it's the numbers on the top of the screen that matter the most, my friends. And that sees Cybershock make their way onwards in the Swiss enter round 2. They go 1-0 up, 1-0 down are the Copenhagen Wolves. You can see as the results for the day on your screen, as that was the conclusive one for us. That will finish us out and off. No longer will Vincent and I be joining you guys for any more Counter-Strike, at least not today, as it is going to be actually a pretty decent way of showing. We've got Series 12 to finish, but Series 11's grand final still going on and kicking Gamer Legion and Sinners.
Yeah, and that's actually one that if you are still interested in watching some Counter-Strike, you should go tune into. Check that one out. With that being said, yeah, it's us signing off for the day. It's been a pleasure. We will see you here next time for CCT Europe Series 12. Peace out.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom, instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.